Hey guys, how you doing? Good to see you all. Uh, Thank you very much for tuning in. I saw there was quite a lot of people waiting, so I thought might come on just that little bit early, a few minutes early, and say hello. All right. So, Bob, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. My Metamorphosis, how you doing? And we've also got where was it? I've lost it. Okay, we've also got Aid in the house. I reckon Dave is an Austin Powers fan. But you'd be right. I quite like Austin Powers. I like that type of humor. So yeah. Um, so guys, please punch in your questions or your comments, have a bit of a chat. Let's talk. Hey, Richard, how you doing? And let me know where you're coming in from. We've got 19 people in. That's awesome. Okay, in comes Light Warrior. And then we've got Johnny Midas coming in, day 27, having a ribeye in Palm Desert, California. Nice one. We've got Peggy. Hey, how you doing, Peggy? Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. We've got 24 people in now. That's awesome. Kelly, love your work. I just don't make live often. Oh, thanks for joining today, Kelly. That's nice. Brooks in. Hey, from Oregon. How's everything going? Doing really good. Thank you. And we've got My Metamorphosis coming through from Hermitage, Tennessee, I guess, just outside of Nashville. And actually, Metamorphosis is much easier to say than I would have expected when I first saw it there. So that's pretty cool. Edward coming in from Athens. Hey, Edward. Sophia from Southwest England. And then we've got Light Warrior coming in from the beautiful mountains of Colorado. We've got, woo, where is Kelly from North Carolina? And we've got Don. And Don is saying, hey, Dave, it's Don from Maine. Next week is my 1 year anniversary. Congratulations. Just 1 month behind you. I've enjoyed following you during my own journey. Congratulations. That's awesome. 1 year. Nice. Okay. We've got Rothine786. Love your content a bit. Thank you so much. Savannah. Hi, Savannah. How you doing? We've got Canadian Carnivore coming in from Winnipeg, Canada. How you doing? Savannah from Columbus, Ohio. We've got Sherry from Pennsylvania, USA. We've got Rothines from Northeast Ohio. Oh, I keep saying that in a Japanese way, like good morning. You're from the good morning state, Ohio. Ohio gozaimasu. And we've got Maureen from wet and soggy Vermont. And okay, Carnivore Ron, how you doing? Thanks for the humor and opinions. No problem. The humor is definitely something that I'm enjoying. I definitely enjoy talking about this stuff and the laughs that go along with it. Now, Bob is asking, are the bloopers real or do you make yourself laugh to make a blooper reel? I don't make myself laugh. I like a 5 minute video would potentially, even though most of the time I've got it scripted out, mostly word for word. Sometimes I'll just have points, but mostly it's scripted out word for word to save time. And even when it's scripted out word for word like that, I'll make myself laugh because I'll be saying something and then this other thought about maybe a kind of a dad joke related to what I've said will come into mind, and then it's just, um, I just can't help laughing. So, I mean, a good example is yesterday's video. One of the things I said in the video that I'd scripted out was and now it's time to look something like and now it's time to look at the Gregor files. But as I said it kind of rang in my ear as something else that I can't mention on the channel for sake of YouTube maybe getting a little bit angry with me. And I also thought, I wonder, I don't want to say something that's going to sound like that bad word at the start of my video, just in case YouTube's AI misinterprets it. So I ended up changing. I laughed and whatever, but I ended up changing the video to say, now it's time to look at the Michael Greger files, as you'll see in the introduction. So yeah, but yeah, a 5-minute scripted video might take me half an hour to film. So that's why, as enjoyable as it is, because I get a laugh out of it, the I guess the most annoying part of the whole YouTube process for me is the filming part. Even though I get a laugh, because it just takes so long. Yeah. But thank you. Thank you very much for the question, Bob. Okay. So Diane's coming in from Brisbane, Australia. And Sophia says, I think us carnivores are from another planet. Sometimes it feels that way. Oh, and we've got Alia in. Hey, Alia, how you doing? And Victoria, hello from Ohio. And we've got Jerry Lee Colbert coming in from Waverly, Tennessee. Hey, Jerry. And who else is here? Oh, my goodness, it's jumping. All right. And we've got Savannah says, I think the blooper reels make you seem more real and relatable. Cheers for that. I will say one thing, like there's one part of it that's kind of that isn't realistic, and that's because you'll see me talking out loud to myself, and that's because I know I'm on camera. So I'm saying what I'm thinking in my head, and what I would normally just keep in my head, I'm saying that out loud because I know the camera's on me. But apart from that, there's nothing. It's all, it's all real, unfortunately, because it takes so long. Sophia says, "How's Belle doing?" Yeah, Belle hasn't made an appearance for a while, and I might have to rectify that soon. I've got an idea for a video that I'm trying to work out how the implementation of it is going to be, and Belle may be able to get into that one somehow. But yeah, that's gonna be one related a little bit to Big Pharma. So I'm just trying to work out, because that'll be a heavily scripted one. So that's yeah, look for that one coming up. Okay, so we've got Ashling coming in from Ireland. Thanks for coming in. Okay. All right. So guys, if you got any questions, please punch them in. We got 61 people in the live now. We've only got 33 likes. If you haven't smashed the like button, please give it a bit of a whipping now. That would be much appreciated. That'll bring more people in, and we can have a more full discussion, or a more lively discussion, whether that's just in the chat or whether that's questions. And what's Bob saying about Belle here? Bob is saying in a future Belle video, she needs to say Pop Tarts like Greg D says cookbook. Ah, I actually I've got to watch some. You're talking about Greg Doucette. I've got to watch some of his stuff. Like I've seen some of Bart's reviews on him, but I didn't really pay attention to what he was saying or how he was saying it. So yeah, I'll definitely have to watch some of his and see if I can get that the voice down. Okay, so Alia says, please explain how your mental health improves with I like. So yesterday I mentioned in that video how getting a like or subscribe has been associated with improvements in the mental health of the YouTuber asking you to do it. And so, yeah, that's definitely something I've heard, because I've heard it gets and I can understand why it gets like this. I've heard that some YouTubers, get to the point of suffering from depression and stuff like that when, they've got a channel and, it gets to the point where, maybe the videos are not doing so well anymore or whatever, or they're not getting likes or whatever. So it was really just a play on, what I know is actually an issue that happens. But yeah, making fun of myself as well, because I'm always asking for likes and subscribes. So it seems like something that would improve my mental health. So good question, Alia. All right. So and Sophia thinks Pop Tart recipes by Belle. That would be really cool. I've actually got to find somewhere. I'm not even sure if I can get Pop Tarts in Japan. Um, I'll have to see if I can get some Pop Tarts and make something up. So, question from my metamorphosis. Any of you eat cod liver? Bought some, never had it before. Any suggestions on good ways to eat it? I haven't, but if anyone has, I'll definitely bring your comment up on screen and read it out. So just while we're getting some more questions in and stuff like that, I just wanted to tell you, yesterday I was in hospital. I found myself in hospital yesterday, and it's a bit of a shock. Um, I was at work and I was just getting ready to teach a class, and the students were starting to come in, and I'd been sitting down all day, and it was about 4 hours in, and I stood up, and as I stood up, I felt a little bit odd, and my vision in my left eye started to go a little bit dark, from the left corner, and it was just moving down ever so slightly, and I could see like this kind of line that resembled, this a thin rainbow. If a rainbow was made of string, it was like a rainbow color, and it was kind of an arch in the corner there, and very dizzy and lightheaded, and I felt a little bit sick, and I was really kind of worried about this. And so I finished up for the day, and I went into the hospital, and they checked me over and stuff. Well, going into the hospital, my when I got there, my blood pressure was quite high the first reading, but then it was normal the second reading, and I got put in the emergency room, and they were really good. They took me straight in, and no questions, no problems, and they talked to me a little bit. They found out about my history, and they went away and talked, and came back and said, "Look, because of your past, um, we should do a scan." So they wanted to do an MRI, but I resisted the MRI because I remember being told somewhere along the line I shouldn't have an MRI again because of metals. But I had a CT, and the CT showed no problems. They had a blood test. There were no problems on the blood test, so they let me go. But yeah, it was really quite a bit of an afternoon yesterday. So yeah, so that was my news to share with you. And Carnivore Ron says ocular migraine. I'll have to look that up. I wonder if that's what it was. Yeah. And Ashling says, I hope you're feeling better. Yeah, feeling much better now. Of course, especially now that I'm online with you guys, I'm feeling much better, much as they say in Japan, much genkier. Yeah. Okay. And Joni says, hi, Joni, how you doing? Brooke says, I had a non-pain aura migraine a couple of years ago. Super strange. Ooh, okay. So I'm gonna have a look up these things. Ocular migraine and aura migraine. Interesting. Um, Brian, greetings everyone. Cheers from Baltimore. Dave in the hospital today. Oh no. Yeah, out of the hospital now. It was just a couple of hours visit or a 3 hour visit. All good. And yeah, but I just thought interesting topic to briefly touch on today. And Ashling says, question: How the can I start again? So I've got to go back and look at your comments, Ashling. So you've stopped doing it. You stopped doing carnivore, and now you want to restart. Um, I guess I can't see that far back in the comments without it's yeah, it's moving too fast. But I would I would say just eat as much meat as you can all the time and keep baking around and don't let yourself try the best you can not to let yourself give in to the cravings. And when you have the cravings, eat the bacon and take it one day at a time. This is something I talked about one or two videos ago, and it was about the things I used to give up the carbs and the alcohol and stuff. And I think one of the most effective ways I had of handling cravings at the start was to just say to myself, just take one day at a time. And all I've got to focus on, I'm not going to look into the future. All I've got to focus on is getting to bed tonight without having any carbs, getting to bed tonight without having any carbs. And then I'll worry about everything else tomorrow. Just get to bed, no carbs. And that works really well because when you wake up the next day and you wake up realizing you've slept better, and the reason is you haven't had carbs, and of course, your self control is much better in the morning. It just feels you feel so accomplished, and it's so much easier to get through the next day. And you just keep looking at it like that. I've just got to get to bed tonight without any carbs, and just keep doing it like that. That's what I would say. And this has jumped a little bit, so let me go back. I was going to say migraine. Okay. And Brian says, "You look great, Dave. I hope that you feel as you look." I do feel good. Yeah, felt pretty rough yesterday, but I do feel good apart from that. Yeah. Um, okay. Here we go. I get ocular migraines. I know what it is, and it still scares me, like being stabbed with a needle from the inside out. The world gets pixelated and our tunnel vision never lasts long, fortunately. Yeah. So yeah, the thing that happened to me yesterday, it was like the class was basically starting when it happened. So it hit me like 4:25 in the afternoon, 4:26, 4:27 in the afternoon. And I was just like, I was trying to teach that class thinking, what's going on? And I mean, I think the students could even feel there was something a little bit different. Like there wasn't the energy in my voice or whatever. And I was just kind of going through the motions of the class. And, but it did like the vision thing. Um, and most of the lightheadedness had cleared up within an hour. And, I was still feeling a little bit lightheaded. Later on in the day. I kind of described it to the doctor as feeling like when you've had a big drink. Um, I'm an expert at this, unfortunately. When you've had a big drink one night and the next day you've got a really bad hangover, and then basically the hangover is dissipating by the afternoon of day two. Um, or the day after you were drunk. Like the hangover's dissipating in the afternoon, but in the afternoon you've still just got a little bit of lightheadedness, but you're feeling like, okay, it's over now. That's how I was feeling last night after, a couple hours after. Hey Mark, how you doing? Good to see you. Ohio Pigeon. For some reason, I always go to say Ohio Penguin. Ohio Pigeon says eat meat only. Um, okay. Could spices have caused you a headache, Dave? No, I don't eat spices, so yeah. Um, speaking of stuff like that, the thing that was worrying me, I was lying in bed in between getting the CAT scan and the blood test and actually finding out the results and just thinking, please let everything be okay. I don't want to be checked into the hospital because I don't want to have to eat this hospital food tomorrow morning. Yeah, that my biggest concern was what's going to happen if I end up in the hospital for a day or two. It's just going to be horrible. Um, so yeah. Um, Unfortunately, that didn't happen. It was only a 3-hour visit. So, um, where are we? Brooke says Dave does not use seasonings besides salt. Yeah, that's right. Thank you, Brooke. Um, okay, Bob Riley from Mount Airy, MD, Maryland. Maryland, is that right? I'm surprised the docs in the hospital didn't blame your lifestyle there. Oh, well, they don't know about it, right? So it was like a big kind of emergency room. It wasn't like a regular clinic I go to. So they didn't ask me about diet or anything like that. So they had nothing to blame. Yeah. They didn't talk about that kind of stuff at all. I mean, all they talked about related to diet was drinking. Do you drink? And it was so nice. It's the first time I've ever been into a hospital setting and they've said, do you drink? And I haven't felt bad going like, well, should I say how many or just reduce it a little bit, and yesterday I was able to say, haven't had a drink for 13 months. So yeah, that was nice. So yeah, make sure they rule out a stroke. Yeah, that's why they did the CT, Joni. They wanted to check that. Um and of course I wanted to know as well, but yeah. Uh hey Buck, how you doing? Thanks for joining. Okay. Wow, we got 77 people. We got 60 likes, guys. So that means there's maybe 17 people that haven't clicked like. Please smash like if you haven't already. That would be much appreciated. Okay. And Aid says, beware, supermarket salt is bleached with chlorine and then they add aluminum oxide as an anti-caking agent. Get real salt. It has minerals. Yeah, this is actually a good point. And this is something I've been doing. Like I've just been generally using regular table salt, which I know is not, not good for me. So I recently found out that I'm able to get Redmond's real salt in Japan. It does take a little longer to get to me, but I can get it. So I'm going to be starting to get Redmond's. But if you have recommendations outside of Redmond's real salt, please let me know, and I'll see if I can get those on Amazon too. And then Buck says, "Uh-oh, what happened to Dave?" Um, I ended up in hospital yesterday, but it's everything's all okay, a-okay. Yeah, just maybe a migraine, although it didn't hurt. So I always thought migraines hurt. But if you've had migraines before, please let me know. Do they always hurt, or does it just kind of, maybe affect your vision or something like that, make you feel lightheaded? Okay. Um, Barb says, "Hi Dave, I'm trying to get off coffee. Any suggestions?" I'm probably not the best person to ask about that because I've tried in the past and failed, but that's More, I have I actually in the past before Carnivore, I have given up coffee for periods of time, but for me, it's always been such a big part of my life and socializing and relaxing and stuff like that. It's just got such a mental hold on me that it's difficult to give it up. And look, I enjoy drinking a coffee. Um, what would I do? I think if I was going to get serious about um, giving up coffee, I need to find some kind of replacement. And so, I mean, maybe that would be going down to decaf, keeping up my frequency of drinking the coffee, but just going down to decaf. Um, I think the bigger, I don't know what the hold what kind of what's the thing that stops you giving up coffee? Because for me, I think the biggest thing that actually stops me giving up coffee is, and this is the reason I need to, is that when I don't drink coffee, I can't stay awake. I cannot stay awake. So if I have a day of work ahead of me, then if I don't drink coffee, then I'm not going to be able to function at work. If it's the weekend and I don't drink coffee, then I'm not going to be able to spend time with my family properly. So it's just this thing. So I think for me, the thing that would help me get off coffee is if I could take, I don't know, a week and go away somewhere, just be on my own, just lock myself away in a hotel room or something like that for a week, and only leave the hotel room to go out and get a steak at a restaurant or something like that. And apart from that, just sit in the hotel and kind of potter around on my computer and stuff like that. Just relax, sleep whenever I feel like I need to sleep, and get over the drowsiness that way. I think that's the only way I'd be able to properly give it up. I need to lock myself away for a while. Joni says, "I think you had a stroke." Well, they said the CT looked all okay. Um, so of course, because of my history, they were worried about that being the case. So um, they that's why they wanted to check. So yeah, they checked the CT and they said everything looks okay. So yeah. Okay. So Buck says, yeah, I'd avoid the hospital at all costs unless I needed a bone set. Yeah. Yeah. Um, and Brooke says, do family members get to bring patients food if the food is rubbish in Japan? I'm not sure. Okay. So I've never been an inpatient, I don't think, while I've been in Japan. So I'm not sure from personal experience. Um, So Dean, who is also a carnivore and lives in Osaka, I think he ripped his Achilles tendon, I think, and ended up in hospital. I think they, but it was during COVID restrictions. So I think maybe his wife wasn't able to bring food in for him, but they allowed him to go to the convenience store to buy some stuff downstairs in the hotel. So um, I think it might be a little more relaxed now. I'm not sure. Um, so where Ohio Pigeon. I just finished my first 48-hour fast today. Never would have thought it was possible. I believe all carnivores can go without food for days with no problems. I was surprised how easy it was. I was really surprised. So I've done two of them now, and yeah, it's crazy. I'm interested to know though, on day two, Ohio Pigeon, what time did you wake up? Because both times on day two, I woke up at exactly the same time, and for I think the same reasons. So I'm interested to know what your sleep was like between day one and day two. Um, okay, so Joni says, "Oh, good, I missed the beginning." Um, no worries. Brian Tawdry. That was a good comment, Barb Riley. By the way, Mount Airy is God's country. Okay, I missed her comment. Oh my goodness. Um, all right. Buck says, "Lol, I totally get that, Dave. My partner used to tell me the doctors they drank 2 drinks a day. Reality, 15 beers. That's right. Whenever you're filling out those forms, how many drinks do you have a day? How many cigarettes do you smoke a day? It's never, it's never anywhere close to what you're actually doing." Um, Susie joining late. Is everything okay, Dave? Everything is perfect. All good. No problem at all. Bob says, "You will love Redmond's." Okay, nice. Thank you. And Jill says, praying, okay, glad you're okay. Praying for you. Thank you very much. And Brooke says, "We have a salt company here in Oregon called Jacobson Salt Company. It's amazing too." All right, I might check those out and might check them out and see if they can send stuff to me. Um, I brought Redmond's 3 days into Carnivore and have never looked back. You know what I like about it as well is it seems you can order really big bags of it too. It's not just coming in the little things like this, which is good. Um, Okay, Barb says, "I like your interviews and the way you allow your guests to tell their stories with minimal, if any, interruptions. I love the success stories." So, I've got two interesting things to tell you about that. The first is one of the reasons I do it is because I have seen people doing interviews, people that I actually quite like famous personalities, TV personalities, whatever. Um, a- and I really like them on TV, but when they interview, they really frustrate me because they never shut up. They're always usurping the conversation. I'm not sure if that's the right way to say it, but they're always taking over the conversation. So the interviewee is like halfway through an answer and they're jumping in to finish the sentence or to say something else or to go, "Oh yeah, that happened to me. By the way, did you know that blah blah blah?" And it's so frustrating because it's like, yeah, if I wanted to listen to you, I'd watch your main show. I wouldn't be watching the interview part. And so that's one thing I learned from them. The second thing the second reason is also like usually the timing, because I live in Japan, unless I'm interviewing someone, who's in Australia or New Zealand, the timing in Japan, usually it's really early morning or really late at night. And so at that time, I'm not my brain is not going to be in high gear anyway. And so often I'm kind of sitting there listening attentively, and I might have a question to ask, but I might leave it for a moment and see if the answer comes out anyway. Because I think, am I going to be able to formulate the question in a nice enough and succinct enough way, or should I just kind of let it happen naturally? And often it happens naturally anyway, and I don't have to jump in, which which is helpful because of the time of night or the time in the morning I'm doing it. So those are my couple of things. Hey Nicole, how you doing? What's up, fam? I'm glad you're okay, but this is a sign that you should cut back on the Pop Tarts. Indeed, it is. I have to try and get those Pop Tarts out of the diet somehow. I have to kill off my alter ego. So, my metamorphosis. I understand there are headaches that only present as auras. Okay, okay. I'm definitely gonna have to do more research on this stuff. Okay, and I'm probably going to butcher your name and I apologize. I'm going to say Uvante. Is that correct? Cave salt by Celtic sea salt for potassium is really good. Seemed to help with my cramps. Oh, okay. I'm going to have to write these down actually. I'm just going to bring up a notepad document while I'm talking to you. And so we've got, I have to go back and look at the other one that was mentioned. So cave salt by Celtic sea salt. Thank you for that. All right. Susie says, so glad you're okay. I've had ocular migraines since on Carnivore. No pain, just auras. They happen when I have too much coffee, caffeine at one time. Then I get strong light exposure. Yeah. So, okay. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to read more about this to so that's my task for today. Will be looking into ocular migraines and auras. Um, okay. And Nicole, no pop tarts. Nice. Okay. Dials bell. Nice. All right. John Bishop says, I'm currently getting off caffeine, starting with decreasing gradually. Now I'm on decaf. I am so tired lately. Yeah, that's what I mean. Actually, I love the experience of being so tired that I never have to think about wanting to go to sleep. I'll just go to sleep because I feel like at that point, that's when you can have a really good deep sleep. But it's not good when you've got to drive or you've got to work or you've got to, spend time with your family or whatever it is. Excuse me, let me mute the mic for a second. I'm just going to sneeze. Back again. Hopefully, number 2 and number 3 don't come. All right. Often sneezes come in threes, I find. Okay, Mitarians United says, I only feel the stabbing pain in my eye for literally a few seconds to a few minutes, but the first time, no, just vision and something akin to vertigo. Okay. Yeah, see, that sounds like what it feels like the first time, just vision and something like vertigo, yeah. Um, yeah, Pop Tarts will cause headaches. Yeah, well, I saw on Twitter yesterday, someone posted a picture. I think it was a Walmart, and it was just like boxes of Pop Tarts, and these boxes were huge. It must be like a jumbo pack that contains lots of regular packs of Pop Tarts. Just thought it just looks disgusting. I mean, a year and a half ago, I would have been like, "Oh, here's dinner," that kind of thing. But um, yeah, it makes me feel sick just thinking about what's in that. Um, but better not tell Belle that. I can see the corner of her hair looking at me right now. That hair sticking out from behind another computer monitor. Okay. All right. Only on day 4, 5. Only day 4, 5 in though. But that's good if you're day 4, 5 in. Um, I 4, 5 minutes for me is a struggle. So, I mean, slight exaggeration, but sparkling mineral water is a great substitute for anything beverage. I I agree. The reason I kind of got addicted to sparkling water is this was kind of one of the getting off alcohol things that I adopted, and it's been with me ever since. Hmm. So Susie says, regarding coffee, I do half caffeine, half decaf coffee now. So that's another way, I guess you can slowly wean yourself off it. So if I can't get the time to kind of lock myself away for a week or something, or it might even take longer than that. But if I can't get that amount of time, maybe just the reducing it method might be the way to go. The only problem is my each individual cup of coffee that I have is so concentrated that weaning down is going to take a really long time. Okay, so Buck says maybe like a Pop Tarts will cause headaches. Check the authorities. Okay, fair point. So then more Pop Tarts needed. Uh, okay, so Don says, I gave up coffee 10 years ago due to severe acid reflux, long before Carnivore. I switched to green tea unsweetened. I get a little bit of caffeine, but it doesn't bother my stomach like coffee did. Yeah, that's another option is to go to the green tea route. Yeah. I like green tea. It just doesn't have the same kick as so for me, like the difference between if you've ever been a smoker, you might this might make sense. So for me, the difference between coffee and green tea is the difference between regular cigarettes and herbal cigarettes. Um, with a regular cigarette, you get a kick, when you drag back into your throat, and you don't get that with herbal cigarettes. And I feel the same. I mean, obviously, you don't get a kick the same way as tobacco with coffee, but like there's a hit after you drink. Whereas, with green tea, I don't feel I get that. So that's the only thing with green tea, although I like it. So bone broth or raw milk with or without an egg is a good replacement. You should try it. Yeah. Okay. Dale's Dave's wife about his planned fabulous vacation. Nice. Cheers, Buck. Okay. Aid says, I'm currently juggling charcoal barbecue lamb, pork, chicken, and guests arriving soon. Nice. Oh, lamb. I miss lamb. It's so hard to get lamb in Japan. I mean, if I tried, I could, but it's just not popular here, so it's not sold in most places easily. Uh, Caffeine is yes, it is most definitely. They did check my potassium, and it is somewhat low. So maybe that is something that could be causing it. That's a very good point, Bella Brat, for you. So actually, I've got to write that down. That's something I need to. They gave me some numbers yesterday. I need to have a look at that. And yeah, um, what do they call potassium in Japan? I think it was potassium that was kind of low. Um, Kalium, I think, is what they call potassium in Japan. Um, yeah, I do need to break the addiction. Have a good barbecue, Aid. Cheers. Thanks for joining, even though you're in the middle of barbecuing. That's awesome. Thank you. Um, some migraines hurt. The last few I've had years ago didn't hurt. I had prisms in my eye. Only one. Half of my vision disappeared too, but they didn't last long because I fought them off. Okay. All right. Eye issues can be a sign of low vitamin C manifestations. Okay, thanks for that. That's another thing I'll write down. Thank you. Um, nice big juice. Thanks for coming in. Okay. And JAB says visual migraines, no pain but flashing lights, such a blurry vision for half an hour to an hour. I get them about every 3 months for the past 30 years. Okay. Awesome. Okay, I need to look at all this stuff. Ocular migraines, visual migraines. Thank you so much. Wow, this is like a consultation session. I joined the. I started this live today as a bit of fun and stuff, and it's an awesome consultation session. Thank you, guys. Hey, Master Chief Burgess, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. And also, Rick, the duckies are eating good in the neighborhood. Hey, thanks for coming in, Rick. And Buck is waving at you, Bob. Okay. I'm a bit late out in the garden building a deer fence. Oh, nice. So, if you're building a deer fence, you live on a big area of land, or is a deer fence an expensive fence? So, as in DEAR. Ha ha ha. Sorry, I like the dad jokes. Okay. Um, Susie says, I highly recommend Redmond's too. Good stuff. Um, Buck says, "This is a great community." Am I right? You are right. It is. I've never in my life been a member of a community like this. It's awesome. Um, and the trick now is just to introduce it to more people. More people that are receptive to it. It's such a good community. Light Warrior says, "Funny how doctors never ask about our diets." Good point. Okay, my metamorphosis. I love the success stories too. So encouraging and uplifting. We need this in the world. Yeah, I think. Yeah, some of the success stories I've heard about over the last year. It's just if you heard about them in any other context over your life, you would just say, "Oh no, that's just not true. That's just made up. That's just some tabloid newspaper." That kind of thing. Okay. Buck, thank you so much for your kind donation. That's much appreciated. That's a very kind gesture. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Okay. Oh, where's my cursor gone? Sophia says, "I'd rather have a coffee addiction than a sugar addiction." Yeah, true. Um, Me too. I can be healthy and be a good weight and build muscle and be clear headed and sleep better and stuff like that with with coffee. I can't do that with sugar. So yeah. So Light Warrior, thank you so much for the super sticker. That's very much appreciated. Thank you. Wow, everyone is so so kind today. Appreciate all your helpful helpful comments and helpful suggestions and wow and super stickers. Thank you so much. Um, okay, no. Whenever I change the page to go to different comments, it jumps a little bit. Okay, so I might if I miss your comment, I'm very sorry. Um, it's just skipped a little bit. So Peter Brown says pink salt has more minerals the body needs, I believe. Um, they you can get pink salt here, so I might try and seek that stuff out because I know some restaurants use it. Um, Rick says I harvested bananas today to give to my vegan friends. So nice. You can keep the your vegan friends happy. Hey, Sean's in the house. How you doing, Sean? Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Very nice of you to join. Appreciate it. Um, wow. Let's just jumped again. Oh my goodness. Okay, here we are. Anna says ocular migraines auras look like flashes of light, zigzagging patterns, blind spots, shimmering spots, or stars. Mine go away, not caused by coffee. Yeah, that kind of is what it was like. Yeah, it was kind of a shimmery line in the top left corner of my eye, and then the line stayed there, but it got increasingly blurry in that point, and it was like something was obstructing my vision. I could still see, but it was something was obstructing my vision. But yeah, cleared up within the hour. Alia Wells, I'm so addicted to coffee that I just started making cold brew. That takes 24 hours. Oh wow. Sounds nice. Master Chief Burgess. Finally dumped heavy cream from my coffee and cut back to 2 to 3 cups a day, down 4 pounds in the last 3 weeks. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Need to give it a try. Coffee might be doing to me what the cheese was doing as well. Cut the cheese and look what happened. I have to try and cut the coffee. Ah, okay. So, been binge watching your clips. Thank you. What's it? There is even Hortense says there is even abdominal migraines. They may not have pain but nausea. I get nausea, dizziness, and pressure behind the eyes. Oh, that sounds awful. Hmm. Sparkling water helped my addiction to fizzy drinks. Yeah, I think there is definitely something to this because I've noticed that a lot of other carnivores as well are drinking sparkling water. Um, so I think there's definitely something to it. Um, okay. Talk to carnivore doctor, Dr. Wiedemann. Maybe she can help. She hasn't been an eye doctor for years. Oh, thank you. Grammy7. Hi, Dave. I love coffee. Won't give it up. Sending my regards from Jersey Shore, USA. Thanks for coming in, Grammy. Okay. Tea tastes like ass. Nice one. Uh, Dave, Dr. Chafee suggested caffeine pills to help step down. That might work with the time issue. Yeah. Um, I wonder, yeah, if the caffeine pills kind of if that can keep me awake, then I mean that might be I feel like the staying awake thing is more of a struggle than the actual addictiveness of the coffee itself. Peter, that will break your addiction is strong. You just need to emerge the strength. Yeah. Joni says, take aspirin, vitamin C, and D, and multivitamins. I literally get the Flintstones children chewables. That way they don't chance any deficiencies. Yeah, good advice. I'm already doing the aspirins, so maybe just need to do the other ones. Yeah. Okay. Ohio Pigeon. During the fast, my sleep was good and I woke up early, although I usually have some difficulty getting to sleep. Dreams are vivid too. Also, I'm 3 days without coffee. It can be done. Oh, nice. Yeah. I found I woke up super early on day two and I don't know, it was like 2 a.m., 2:30. And I've never been so awake in my life. And I guess it's my body saying go and look for food. But yeah, it was such a strange feeling. Such a strange feeling. Okay, so Joni says lamb is so good. Indeed it is. Um JB, I must have missed the part because why should anyone stop drinking coffee? Is it bad for something? Um, for me, I would like to see what it's like without coffee, to see what it's like if I have, what I imagine would be improved sleep if I gave up the coffee. Because when I stop coffee now, I can't stay awake during the day. Basically, I'm like an old man. I'll just suddenly go, oh. Then that tells me that the coffee is affecting my sleep patterns to some degree. So I feel like if I stop the coffee, I would probably sleep better, and then that sleeping better would probably have flow-on effects in my life. So that's for me. That's the reason I want to try without coffee at some point. Yeah. Master Chief Burgess, we have a sheep farm less than 10 kilometers away, and our butcher down the street carries it. I love lamb. Oh, nice. Yeah, lamb's awesome. The thing in Japan is it's not popular here because Japanese people feel like lamb has a strange smell, which I've never noticed a smell to lamb that's any different to anything else. But yeah. Um, Could your headache have been caused by oxalate dumping, Dave? It's a good question. I'm not sure. That's something, yeah, I need to consider. I need to do a lot more reading on it to see, especially now I've heard about the migraines as well. So, yeah. Um, all right. So let's get through some more questions. So guys, I've got about 8 more minutes left with you, and then I'm gonna have to unfortunately get to work. if you've got any questions or any comments or anything like that, please chuck them in now and I'll try and get to them. All right. Okie dokie. And I realized I get quite behind because I talk a lot. Okay. And so Vince says, I just quit coffee 4 days ago. My stomach muscles are starting to show. I wish I did this months ago. Oh, that's another good reason to give it up. All right. Carnivore Kip. Hey, Kip, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. Sophia says, I've had to cut out cheese. It was causing me pain. Yep. Cut the cheese. Buck. Kip. Hi, Jonah. Yeah, that's Matthew. That's kind of my level. I drink way too much, 5 times 24 ounces a day. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. And that's why when I stop, it's just like, you know, I end up walking around in a daze, just feeling like I need to go to sleep. Light Warrior, caffeine is the poison the coffee plant produces to keep bugs, etc., from eating it. Yeah, it's yeah, I mean, I'm under no illusions that, there might be some benefits, but I'm under no illusions that, it's probably bad for my health because it's affecting my sleep. So, yeah. As soon as I stopped cheese, pain went away really quick. Oh, nice. Yeah, so for me, when I stopped the cheese, and again, I've got to give Kip credit for that. It was his challenge. Um, when I stopped the cheese, it was almost instant within, I can't say it was within 24 hours, but it was within 3 days. The weight on my middle, it wasn't weight, like the a little bit extra bulk around my middle that I hadn't been able to get rid of just disappeared. And I mean, it was too fast for that to be fat. So I guess I'm some low level inflammation response to dairy or cheese or something that was in the cheese. And so, yeah. Okay. And Kip says, I cut the cheese every day. Nice. Okay. And Buck says, have not heard anyone else say it. On keto, I had to quit coffee and tea, made me too hyper. That's interesting. Buck, doing a great job. Thank you so much, Buck. That's very kind of you. Rick says, vegans are good at cutting the cheese. Yes, so I've heard. So I've heard. Yeah, literally, not just figuratively. Or literally in both senses. Okay. All right. So Dr. Baker said, don't cut out coffee too soon, shock to your system. You mean like we should like step down gradually, I guess. Yeah. I think that's how I'd have to do it, just given the addiction that I have. Yeah. Okay. From Sean, why do you ask someone who makes videos a lot and answers almost everything imaginable to them? That's a that's a good question. What do you ask? What's their favorite color? What's their favorite number? I don't know. Yeah, very good question. All right. Um, Okay, so no more questions or comments. Guys, so I'm going to sign off now. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. We had about 100 people at some points during the live, which was awesome. I really appreciate you coming in. Really appreciate your kind support, everyone's suggestions and supportive comments, the super stickers, everything. And as was mentioned quite a few times in the chat today, this is an awesome community. It's a really good community, and I'm honored to be part of this community. So thank you so much, and have a lovely evening if that's your time in the world. Have a great day if it's your morning or afternoon, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.